Hey everybody, welcome back to Slapshotbricks. I'm John. Today we're going to be taking all three copies of the LEGO Creator 3-in-1 Haunted Mansion set that we currently have, and we are going to be combining them into one giant rebrickable model. And the model that we are going to be building today is the Haunted Kingdom Castle designed by Rebricked. This consists of 1,564 parts, all of which can be found using the three copies of set number 31167, which we currently have. The instructions for this set are going to cost you $7.99 GDP. When converted to USD, that equates to $10.67. I'm very curious to see what this castle is going to look like in person, especially when judging by the picture here, it looks like it's pretty big in terms of size. So let's get started. To help make the build process go much smoother, I've broken down our three sets by part type. Here we have tile, small and medium plate. Here is our large plate, all of our brick, slope pieces, as well as our specialty and miscellaneous parts. So after approximately 4 hours of building, I have officially completed the Haunted Kingdom Castle designed by Rebricked. It looks incredible, and I cannot wait to reveal it to you all here in just a few moments, but it's pretty clear that Rebricked took a lot of inspiration for this specific rebrickable build from the classic Disney castle. So, to put us in the mood even further, I've created some custom Disney minifigures designed especially for this build. So first up we have Mulan and Frozone, who have unfortunately both been turned into skeletons. Next up we have a few zombies with Aladdin and Edna E. Mode. We also have a pack of vicious bloodthirsty vampires with Alice, Aurora, Elsa, and Hercules. And Aurora's owl is scared for his life right now. Robin Hood has been turned into a werewolf, while Peter Pan, Mr. Incredible, Jiminy Cricket, and Buzz Lightyear have all been turned into monsters. Captain Hook is now Frankenhook. However, Miguel, Dante, and Ernesto have not been changed into anything, but no one's noticed for obvious reasons. And last, but certainly not least, we have Maleficent, who is plenty evil on her own, so I figured she'd be a perfect addition to this haunted Disney castle. So now that you guys have seen my custom Disney minifigures, it's time to bring out the Haunted Kingdom Castle. And this set was so much fun to put together. The designer did a tremendously good job utilizing all the parts from the three-in-1 Haunted Mansion builds. The first thing that I'm going to do with this set is something that I like to do with all the builds here on the channel. I'm going to give you all a nice 360 spin here. Yes, it does have an open back, but I do think that's very appropriate for this build because it allows you to really get in there and have some fun with your minifigures and enjoy some storytelling. But I'm going to break down all the details so you guys can see every little corner of this epic build. So the entrance to our castle begins with a beautiful cobblestone path leading up to the front gates, which can be opened and closed. And the designer also did a brilliant job decorating this front entrance with the two lanterns right here. Above the front gates, we have a small balcony complete with windows in the background. Unfortunately, it's not a big enough area to place a minifig, but you could place a mini animal just like Aurora's owl. Now I want to show off the makeup of the front walls of the castle, which are expertly designed with the pillars as well as all the masonry bricks that are scattered throughout the build. It just looks so good, especially with most of the green bricks being used on the upper portion of the castle and your light bluish gray making up the base or foundation. Moving up to the second level, you can see how well all of our black slope pieces have been used as the peaks for all of the towers. The architecture style here just adds to the beautiful aesthetic that this castle has, and it's truly a thing of beauty. The next highlight that I want to mention here on the second level is you have plenty of open studs, which is great because you have lots of opportunities to place minifigures and tell some little stories because this second portion of the castle is pushed back by about 8 studs. And as we now focus in on the middle portion of the castle, I love how well the window elements are utilized here inside this build. And even though it's not minifig scale, I also love how these elements mixed with the 1x4 modified plates are used to create the illusion that there's little balconies here surrounding our towers. And now if we focus in on the top of the build with the tallest tower, it is mostly light bluish gray, indicating that the designer may have ran out of green bricks at this point. However, since the build is 90% green and these light bluish gray pillars don't come in green in this set, I can definitely forgive him because it still looks very good. Also, the placement of the bat at the highest point of this tower is such an incredible touch. So now that you guys have seen the front of the castle, it's time to turn this baby around and check out all of the glorious interior details. So naturally, we're first going to start off by checking out the ground floor here of the build. The first thing that I have to point out is I love the design and use of all of the light bluish gray pillars that come with all three of these sets. Thanks to this genius design, it's added so much stability to the structure. It's a very solid build and something that you don't have to worry about breaking too easily. The other thing that's great about this very spacious open floor is with all these open studs, you have so many places to put minifigures. Coming over to our far left, we have the table where Frankenstein's monster was created, as well as the lever on the wall where you can activate the electricity. We also have a grandfather clock tucked away off to the side. Moving to the center, we have our front gates that are proudly guarded by our pirate skeletons. And above them is a beautiful candlelit chandelier. Underneath the chandelier, there's also the inner working gears where you can place our three ghosts, and they can spin, which adds a really nice spooky effect to the center part of the castle. Over to our right, we have a torture device with some chains hanging from it. And the last noteworthy item here on the bottom floor, over to our far right, we have a little Easter egg nod to Cinderella, but instead of having her glass slipper here, we have a skeleton foot. This space is also open right here where technically it should be closed off, but once again, I think this is just due to part constraints. So moving on up to the second level, we have a small kitchen area, as well as a dining room area with the small table with the candle on it, as well as a small bedroom with the master bed right here. I'm not in love with how this area is designed. However, I will say that it is still very sturdy and adds to the stability of the build thanks to the use of these doors right here. This door does swing open, but unfortunately this door is pretty blocked by the furniture there. Also, there's no stairs to get up to the bedroom on the technically third floor. But other than that, still a great little area and lots of space to put some of your minifigs. And now we're going to focus on the last bits of interior space. We have a pretty cool throne on this level here with what I believe is supposed to be a cauldron in front of it. And then in the final space, in the top portion of the tallest tower, we have a magic mirror. So once again, great additions to this castle build. And although not technically interior space, there is one more little area up here where there are plenty of studs in the tallest point of the tower, so you could place a minifigure. Unfortunately, it just has to be a skinnier minifigure because there's only a 2 stud gap in between each one of the light bluish gray pillars. And speaking of placing minifigures, now that I've showed you guys the entire Haunted Kingdom castle, it's time to have some fun and place our own custom Disney minifigures here on the build. So starting out in the front of the castle, I thought it would be very appropriate to have Ernesto along with Miguel and Dante sing as they welcome in everyone to the Haunted Kingdom. Up on the second level, we have a little bit of a duel here between Skeleton Mulan against Vampire Hercules. Not sure who's going to win this. In the back corner behind the duel, we have Zombie Edna Mode scolding Zombie Aladdin for once again stealing something from her. So even though Aladdin is a zombie, he still continues to act like a street rat. Down on the first floor, Monster Jiminy Cricket and Monster Buzz have once again chained up Monster Mr. Incredible to see if his brute strength can break through the chains that they've used to tie him up on this board. Little do they know that Monster Mr. Incredible is 100 times stronger than regular Mr. Incredible. And speaking of monsters, over on the other side of the first floor, Monster Peter Pan has just brought Captain Frankenhook back to life. Back up on the second floor in the living space, we have Vampire Alice, Vampire Elsa, and Vampire Aurora all gossiping and scheming about who they are going to kill next. exist. And while everybody else in the castle has been fighting, gossiping, and bringing each other to life, poor skeleton Frozone here just wants to take a nap. And while everybody has been preoccupied with their own activities, Maleficent has claimed the throne and dubbed herself Queen of the Haunted Kingdom Castle. And finally, we have our werewolf, Robin Hood, who as an archer tends to go up to the highest point that he can find so he can have a great view, but also as a werewolf, he has the best opportunity here to howl as soon as he sees a full moon. So what did you all think of the Haunted Kingdom Castle designed by Rebricked? I think this model is truly incredible. Not only does it make a fantastic display piece for Halloween, it would look great in anyone's city, and it's a great storytelling set because there's so much area and space to place your minifigs. You could really have a lot of fun with this set. So if you're lucky enough to have 3 copies of the 3-in-1 Creator Haunted Mansion, I highly recommend that you pick up the instructions from Rebricked and build this model. The build experience as well was super enjoyable. The instructions were very easy to follow, so anybody with, just a little bit of building experience should be able to build this model. And this is something that is a concept that we may never see as an official set from the LEGO Group. I mean, think about it. They put out Disney castles, but a haunted Disney castle, that may be something that never comes to fruition. But I really enjoyed doing this, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that like button. Let me know down in the comment section below if there's any other rebrickable models based on the 3-in-1 Creator Mansion that you would like to see me build here on the channel. I do have a few in mind, but I am going to leave this intact for at least a few days because I really want to enjoy it. So once again, if you guys are new around here, make sure to subscribe because we would love to have you join our Slapshotbricks family. And with that being said, don't stop shooting until you score. You can watch more of our LEGO videos on the end screen now.